What's up? Today we're going to be leveling up your calisthenics skills. We are at Boxer Studio and we have the legend Dai-Long, my brother, in the house, all the way from France. Today he's going to be showing you how you train at the highest level of calisthenics. If you haven't seen Dai-Long's skills, we'll just show it on Instagram real quick. So Dai-Long, you ready? All right, let's go. Time to level up your calisthenic skills. So first things first, do high-level athletes warm up at all?
Personally, no, but in general, yes, of course you have.
What Dai-Long told me yesterday was, you know, the normal stuff that he always does, like multis, planche, raises, and all that, you don't need to warm up for them because it's like walking, like you said. It's like you're already so adapted to it.
I only warm up when I do something different, like if I want to train specifically on rings.
Something that you're not used to, basically, or that you don't do as often.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what's the workout for today? What's the workout structure? Is there anything specific we're training?
What I do and what most people do in high-level calisthenics is start your training with attempts and combination of things that you want to try. Okay, so let's start with the first attempt and combination, and after we'll do real exercise.
Oh, that was another thing too. So Dai-Long does like everything on his fingers basically. And I was like, bro, once I could do like fingertip, I just basically stopped because I could already do it. And then it just kind of got weaker. And Dai-Long said, bro, from now on, everything on fingertips.
Yeah, you have to get adapted, so you have to train it every day.
Fingertips coming up. First, we're gonna warm up with planche hold. Dude, my right arm, all of you guys know, has been killing me. Dai-Long has shown me some techniques to repair my arm, and I tried just a little bit last night. My arm is feeling way better today. Maybe we'll reveal those at the end of this episode. Another question that I have. So in my combos, sometimes I train archers and sometimes I don't. When do you like put in like one arm stuff?
I can also incorporate it into my training exercises if I want to work specifically on this. For example, if I do lean planche with elevated feet, lean planche push-ups.
Again, Dai-Long showed me another trick or hack I've never tried ever before. We're gonna show you guys today. It's so simple, unless you don't want to show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can.
This is a nice guy. He's showing you guys all the secrets. As Dai-Long suggested, we're gonna go straight into the archer planche push-up. So this is actually very similar to my own style of workouts, except I don't do this every day. I think you do this more like almost every day, right? But your routine is actually different because you actually do less exercises and more sets.
I really try to optimize how my body adapts to the things that I want to do. So
if you're doing hella different exercises, like way too many, you have slower adaptation. But if you're doing the same exact movement, you're gonna get good, not just at the muscles, but the actual movement path itself. And that's why you stick to like 2 to 3 exercises for a whole workout, right?
Yeah, hold it.
Yeah, got the fingertip planche, bro.
Yeah.
Back in one day, literally we tried yesterday, and that's why I brought it up. I was like, dude, I did fingertip planche, and once I could do it, I literally just stopped training for it. And Dai-Long was like, no, bro, now you only train fingertips. And yesterday, I could barely planche on my fingertips on the floor. I mean, today, I just showed you we were able to do it, no problem.
If you are fresh without the combination before, you can easily
even longer, right?
Oh,
maybe even press, right?
Yeah.
So I will try that next week.
Yeah, even next training.
Oh, next training?
Yes.
This guy's crazy. I got one more set left, and then we'll get into the real stuff. All right, so let's get into the actual workout now.
Let's go.
All right, so now we're getting into max hold to press. I think I gassed myself on all the combos. At my stage, I would definitely need to use a band at this point. I really want to try this though. I think I should like at least hang the band right there and give it at least one shot, one attempt. Can you explain that 20% adaptation a little more for the viewers so that they can use it in their own workouts?
When you feel that you get better set after set, it's your nervous system that's
adapting basically.
But you have to stay in that state in order to make it natural until you can unlock new level of strength.
at a high level like you're doing right now, do you still touch basics? Do you still do pull-ups and push-ups?
I do, but there are no benefits for strength for my skills, but it's important for me to keep the conditioning. So I like to do that also once per 10 days per 2 weeks. So we'll do a couple of more sets and we are done with the training.
Last set of the day, let's give it everything we got. Yes, sir, let's go.
Very good.
Let's go, bro.
Right now we are moving into the lean planche hold with elevated feet, with a band against our waist. And yeah, the goal is not just to hold, the goal is to try to press.
The most important thing isn't the lean in this specific exercise.
Yeah.
We're really focusing on that intensity of the press, even though we're not moving. Also, hands super supinated because that adaptation is gonna transfer more.
You work only on your deltoid strength and not the forearm.
So, and I want to address that too, because a lot of people will watch this video and be like, I'm going to train exactly like Dai-Long, I'm going to do exactly what he says, only 2 exercises, 10, 15 sets. But remember, he worked his way up to get to that volume where it's just normal for him. Planche for you is like walking. If planche for you doesn't feel like the same thing as walking, you need to warm up a lot, that's something that you're not necessarily going to be running for like 8 to 10 set sizes. That's going to be more of like an attempt. When you're at a higher level, you need to train way more specifically. Remember that.
And this is my way of training. And there is a lot of ways to train.
Not everybody does the same thing. In fact, we'll keep the series going and we'll link up with another elite athlete and we'll see what they do and how they train. You guys are gonna see it's very, very different.
How you think your feels?
They feel fried, bro. And when I see this dude doing like presses and like switching grips and shit, I'm like, bro, when you first started training fingertip planche, where were you on your planche? And then how long did it take you to unlock the planche and then the press?
I think I was around 4 or 5 seconds of full planche hold.
And you started training for fingertips?
Yeah, we straddle fingertips.
All right, before we wrap up this session, Dai-Long's gonna show us some secret hacks basically to repair our arms. A lot of you guys have known like my arm hasn't been able to lock out for like almost 3 years now. He showed me some moves. I tried them out. My arm is feeling significantly better, so I wanted to show you guys.
I used to have this pain also while squeezing like this, and I was even able to do all this bend arm planche. What my father taught me because he practiced Chinese traditional medicine. So yeah, the goal is you try to rotate as hard as possible, at least 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The longer you hold, the more your body will relax and the more you will feel the burn and you will feel the energy and everything.
The 3 grips is like this, shoulder width, wide, and then bent. Like that. Try all 3. If you can hold each one for 3 minutes each. Remember, keep constant tension the whole entire time trying to bend. Don't squeeze your hands, keep your hands open.
If you have pain, for example, in the biceps, you can do another exercise with the hands like this, supinated, or with a very, very light weight.
It's basically identical to rehab training. You know, when you go into rehab, they're gonna make you do something very, very light, like Dai-Long said, 2 pounds. And what you really wanna do is work on the time, the endurance, the time under tension, right? So basically something like this. Get something nice and light, hold this as long as you can. If you guys are injured as well, try this. You guys are gonna make a huge comeback as well. All right, real quick, I just want to ask you a couple questions about your training. Maybe other people may have these questions too. You said you do like 2 to 3 exercises a day, but obviously that's not enough to hit all the elements, all the skills, and that's what people really want to know. Do I train reps and sets? Do I train all my skills at once? Do I only stick to one skill? How do I fit in like Maltese, planche, push-up, and all these other skills into my training session?
How I personally structure my training by doing training blocks with specific dedicated workouts for intensity and specific workouts for training the volume.
Do as many intensity as you can. You take a rest. That's about a day of rest.
After intensity, usually 1 day of rest is enough.
Then you go straight volume until you can't anymore. Then you take a day or 2 of rest.
Yeah, because volume kills me more because there is a lot of repetition and it's not the same effort, like it's more like gym training. Yeah. So I get a lot of soreness and more fatigue, so yeah, 2 days of rest.
Do you do other things outside of your workout routine? Other people like me, for example, we like to do grease the groove throughout the day, or maybe I'll have like a morning routine every day where I'll kind of like just touch up on stuff. Do you do that as well?
Yes, I do that. I do my weighted calisthenics sets in the morning. I do also do some kind of stretching and rehab exercises like in the morning, yes. I also do grease the groove sometimes on my volume day. If I'm lazy to train and do all my sets during a training, I will do, for example, just 1 push-ups to press, but 50 sets per day.
Throughout the whole entire day, like a million times basically.
Yeah.
I just did a vlog where I did 100 one-arm push-ups a day. Started day 1, it was like 40 in a row, and by day 7, I did over 100 in a row. And one of the things that kept me progressing was the first day I would do reps and sets, but then you would get fatigued, of course, from doing volume. And then the next day, instead of doing like a full-on workout where I would continue to fatigue myself, I just did grease the groove, like you said. Like I will do one set, but a bunch of times throughout the day. All right, last question for everybody that's trying to learn Maltese or even get into Maltese training. One, do you need to planche before you start training for Maltese? And two, if you do, where should you be until you're ready to start training Maltese for the first time?
That was one of my biggest mistakes. I started training Maltese specifically too early, like I was just able to hold 4 seconds of bad straddle planche. So in my opinion, it's way better to start building a very strong planche, like at least 5 to 10 seconds of good planche.
All right, so for everyone that's ready to unlock planche, you can hold one for at least 5 to 10 seconds. Now's the time to start training. And if you want to know exactly what to do, what are the first progressions and exercises, well, we'll cover that in the next one. We're gonna bring Dai-Long back to Miami in just a couple weeks, and we'll keep the series going. And if there's any other questions that you have for us or Dai-Long or something that you're working on, just let us know down in the comment section below, and we'll definitely get it covered in the next one. And make sure you subscribe because we're giving all the secrets right here on the channel. We're gonna have some other athletes coming in for some elite training, show you how they train. And of course, to see more of Dai-Long, just follow him on Instagram. You also have YouTube starting as well, right?
Yeah.
Sick, bro. You're the man, bro. You got a plate to catch, otherwise we would have kept this going. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Mad love. Peace out, baby.